Well, hello everyone and welcome. We're getting ready to start today's webinar, Going Social with Dynamics CRM 2013. This is Tom Poor. I'm a Senior Account Executive here at FMT Consultants. And joining us today we also have David Nash, the CRM Practice Manager, who's going to walk us through some really interesting things in integrating social media with Microsoft Dynamics CRM. Right, Dave?
Yes, indeed.
All right, good enough. Well, let's get rolling on this.
All right, so one of the really cool things I think about Dynamics CRM, the 2013 in its release, is the integration of the social pane that allows you to do both keep up to date with what's going on in your company in terms of new leads that are created, opportunities that are won, being able to speak to other people in the company. You also have at that spot the ability to create your activities and add your notes, and it's a central focus of the application now on any of the pages that you might visit, leads, accounts, opportunities, and such. So let me press the little button here, make sure you're seeing what you're supposed to be seeing. Yes, indeed. So what we see is the standard dashboard here with the slight difference that we do have this social pane in the middle. If you're familiar with previous versions of CRM, of course this wasn't here. This is what I look like on a bad hair day. But one of the features that are new with this version is you can add pictures to the users in the system. So that way, when they do their posts or communicate with you, you can see who it is that's working there. What we view here is the automatic posting that comes out of the box with online. Now, one thing that you may have trouble with is that if you've upgraded, you may not have the post configuration automatically there. You may have to add that, and then that can be either added as a solution that you can download from Microsoft, or it can be as a manual addition to the sitemap. A lot of times you'll see that from your old forms on an upgrade that the social pane isn't there, so when you make a copy of it and you've got the social pane, you still don't see the activities or the records for the communications on any of the pages. So it's a simple thing of adding that in, and then when you got that in, you can go to your settings and then configure what you see on that page based on the new little post configurations that would be added. So you can add rules for what you see on the various pages and configure how it's seen. So this doesn't have to appear on every one of the entities. It can be set up to just appear on those entities that you want to see it. So right now what we're viewing is a trial version of Microsoft Online. So it was already part of that, and all the pages have that built in. So like with many social products nowadays, whether you like them or not, you have the ability to reply to them or like them and let other people know what's going on in the company. So as you see here, we've got a new contact created here. So someone else logged on, likes the idea that we have that person as a contact, and they can like that. And then you see today you've liked that. Whether that is useful or not for you, it definitely comes down to your business, whether or not that's helpful. But it is very nice to be able to reply to many of these automatic posts so that other people who are dealing with these clients can see that you're making action upon it. Say, for instance, it's a case, and in that case, they were missing something. And as we see down here in the lower one, we have required service. So then we have here the service call scheduled. Now, here we have below that they need an operating manual. So you can see down here that Ujjani says, okay, we sent the operating manual on Wednesday. So it allows you to keep track of what's going on in the company on the single page. And here we see this all happening on the dashboard. If we instead go to the account, we'll have the same layout, but now the information is just specific to this account. As I mentioned before, you can also have just straight out posts. And the posts don't regard any system action. They're just a bit of information that any of the users can put on there. And here we see this is done by Ujjani saying average order shipping time and commenting on that. So you've got your like, you've got your reply. You have various types of posts that you can monitor. If you don't want to see all the auto posts, you can turn those off, and you can also turn it on so you only see user posts in the selection. On the other page, you are able to say on the dashboard whether or not you want to see those that were just for me or those that were our auto posts or all. So that it's highly configurable as to what you see on each page and what information is shown to you. So you don't get necessarily flooded with all of the stuff that can come through in auto posts. You can change the order of the posts, which ones would show at the top in case of like cases you're more interested in ones that are associated with that account or what have you. So in general, this is out of the box. You get the functionality there. You can communicate with other people in the company. It's highly configurable from the other pages. But sometimes this isn't enough, and there's a lot more stuff that they've added the ability to do. One of the things is with Yammer. And what Yammer is, for those who haven't dealt with it, it's a social application, but for company. So it's an internal social. And one of the nice benefits of this, if you've got it integrated, and I didn't integrate it here because I wanted to be able to show what the out-of-the-box was, but if you do have it integrated, what you can do is make comments against an account or a contact or any of the records, and they're seen company-wide. Where I found this to be helpful is if you've got one aspect of your company that does fulfillment, and you're trying to find out, okay, did this ship? So one of the quick ways to do that is just to type it directly into the account and say, for instance, this is not Yammer, of course, but this would also work for everyone who is signed up to CRM directly from here. So now anybody who has CRM would be able to see this question, and then your fulfillment or shipping guys could then log on and say that they've done that. But quite often you won't have anybody but your sales and marketing people using CRM. So the advantage of having Yammer is that everyone in the company can have a Yammer account, and it would be integrated with CRM, and then they could reply. So that's Yammer, and the same is also true with Link. Link can be integrated so that when you are making these comments, it can go out to everybody in the company over Link. All right, so some of the important things that people like to know about their customers can be found using other social tools like LinkedIn, like Twitter that we see here on the bottom of the form. Facebook is everywhere. I'm not certain that that's actually all that helpful for a business, but it can be linked into CRM. RSS feeds, where if you want to follow someone and find out what's going on with them on a a daily basis and find the links to that information, you can have RSS feeds added into the system as well. All of these things can actually be added to the social pane, but it's not a customizable thing. It is code development. What you would do is have a service that would run code and use the APIs for CRM and for the other services and call that information and send those in a feed to your social pane. And in this case, you would, instead of seeing here, as we see down for FMT, it's showing the tweets down here, you would actually see them directly in the social pane. This is true for pretty much any of the social media that's out there that has an API. You can then feed it into CRM in the center section and come through as a post. Then you would control it as a separate section and turn it on and off for various users. Now, any of the tools I just mentioned can also be incorporated into CRM directly. What I've just thrown up here is just a dashboard to show some of those. One of the issues here that you might deal with, that I'm dealing with here, is if you notice on the top, this is an HTTPS site, which becomes a problem if you have an interface to a site that's not HTTPS, like these RSS feeds. So then you need to tell it specifically to allow it to show things that are not HTTPS. So what we see here is an RSS feed, and it's the same one in both of them, just to show that it does change, and we'll put it into your single column versus your double column if you need more information. So this is the CRM RSS feed. It's a nice one to go to. It has good information in terms of like best practices, stats that emphasize 2014 customer experience imperatives. So things that might be useful for you to read to help you and increase your business return. So it's a nice thing to look at. We've got Twitter thrown on the front here. That you can have it on any of the individual forums, or in this case, I've got the FMT tweets here. How you use them would definitely be up to you, but some of the recommended uses come for researching information about the customer that you're trying to win, but also about your competitors. What are they tweeting about? What is their direction? What are their gains? So that you can keep track of that. You can also, with LinkedIn, add LinkedIn to any of the pages. Right now they have a managed solution that you can just upload. One of the problems, and I left it this way just to show you, if we go to the account again in any of these, so FMT Consultant, I'll go through here. If we go here and look on this page, we don't have the LinkedIn control after it's been added. And that's because it still looks for the old forms, which were called information, rather than the new forms, which are named after the entity. So we have the information page here. And when it was installed, it installs it by default onto this page. Now, further configuration is required to make sure that it brings back the information, but since it was on a different page, I didn't even do anything with it. But that's one of the drawbacks of trying to put it directly on the page right now. It would need some help from someone else or some internal source to help you customize that. So one thing that's really nice is the relationship that Microsoft has developed with the LinkedIn or Inside You in terms of adding, if you've got Microsoft CRM Online 2013, the Pro version, you get this out of the box. It's free. You just can add the social insights panel onto the account and contact forms, and then now you are able to mine all the data that Inside View provides for you. So it's as simple as adding that into the form, and if you're on premise, you can also get this. It just doesn't. It's not free and paid for. You have to sign up for the service. In either case, the customers that do have this find this quite useful to have. And instead of either, as I had mentioned, doing the actual programming for the APIs and adding them to the social pane, or adding the various forms controls on there for Twitter and for RSS and for LinkedIn and such, Inside View gives you all of that at in one control. It searches all of the various media sources to find information about your account or contact. So in this case with FMT, when you add it on there, it shows information about that. We can see company insights was that FMT Consultants wins the 2014 Annual Business is Roaring Award. We can look at people at FMT to find out who might be the person that we need to talk to take this forward. Now, we've got to keep in mind that some of this information might be old. It depends on the company and the links and the information that it searches for. When you add this, you also get it against the contact. Now here I'm looking against Jake, our marketing manager. He's more active in the Twitter sphere and those social areas than most, so he'll have more information available against him to find. So a lot of times, and one of the complaints that has been in the past about Inside View is only around here in the contacts. With the accounts, if that company exists and can be associated with, you'll get all the information that's available for them. But sometimes it has a little difficulty finding the contact. We're able to find Jake, no problem. We're able to associate the information with him, and we can click on the LinkedIn, and if he has a public site, then we can see information on him. Here are tweets. His account is protected, so it's not showing any of that, and it does allow you to connect with him through Facebook. If we go back to FMT Consultants and then go with me, not being as social as he is, we say we found no one here. So what we can do, though, is add the person. And it does find me against FMT Consultants and a LinkedIn account. So I can be added, and now that link is associated. So you're sort of manually finding me and trying to associate me with something else. So I'm definitely not this guy. I'm not that guy. So you'd have to do a little work to find me. Now, if we take other companies that are a little more, let's say Disney here, a little more active and well seen, you can get a lot more information from them. There's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of links here, going to the people in there, like Roger Iger. I've added him as a contact. The more higher the profile, the easier it is to have him, that person, linked to your social area and find out more information about them. All right. So, looking at all of the items that we have here, these are the out-of-the-box, the easily added on, and then the next stage of higher integration. There definitely could be a lot of use of having all the posts come into here, so it is something to think about. But for most customers, just being able to get it real quickly inside View is a nice solution. There are other tools, of course, in CRM that are helpful in the social arena. Being able to map the person, find out where they are. It helps with, of course, going and finding them. But for the most part, your activities and posts in the center, and the additional things are where you're going for in the social area. Later on in the end of spring or so, the Microsoft will be introducing the marketing solution that, when used in conjunction with the data mining and the social media on the front, will allow you to better market to your potential customers and your existing customers based on whatever search criteria that you want to use. And then there's other tools that have a social aspect to them, such as Click Dimensions, which allows you to monitor the emails and such that go out, but they also help monitor some of the things that are happening out in the network. So in a nutshell, that's what we have for CRM and social right now. So open it up to anyone have any questions on what we can do with it and how it might be used. Okay, no questions so far. Anyone thinking of using Yammer that might want to know any more about it, or any more about LinkedIn, or Inside View, or any of the other aspects we talked about? All right. So question, if Yammer is turned on in CRM, is there an option to turn it off if it doesn't apply? So Yammer isn't turned on by default. You'll see actually notices that will come up that says, hey, you can hook up to Yammer. Now, if you did integrate it with Yammer, it replaces the posts column in your activity with a Yammer column. And to remove it and get set back to the way you were before requires some, configuration to get Yammer out of it. So the setup for Yammer is such that you need to sign on with Yammer themselves, and then you get an ability to integrate it with an instance of CRM. So at that point, once you've integrated it, then when you start it up again, Yammer will now be your default social posting. So, all right, let me see. This thing is a little small here. Well, there seem to have been some questions here. It's just so small. All right, so so can I talk about some more on how to use posts for improving work communications? Okay, certainly. So we have two things. One is the Yammer post, but let's just assume for all your users are internal, so we don't have to be concerned with speaking to someone who does not have CRM installed and they don't have a use. So in the case of I'm on this contact, say for instance that I want to know what his mobile phone number is. So so I can put that there, and if someone who has access to this this contact, if it's one of their contacts, or if depending on security in the system, if everyone sees the contacts, those are things you need to keep in mind. Security of the system may mean that you're not seeing a lot of the stuff that's happening because you don't have access to that user. But once you've got that post in there, anyone who is either subscribed to this contact itself or goes to the contact can see this message. And then they can reply directly against that message, and then you would see it posted here. If I had another user signed on, she's out at the moment, then you would see her reply to it fall right above mine, or you can come in and reply directly to this. And just add the entry directly in there. So everybody who's subscribed to this that can see this or comes to this account or contact would have that ability. And this is true on any of the pages that have that, that capability. All right, so how to relate to activities, for example. Well, the posts don't necessarily relate to activities. On the same page, you have the activities form, so you can see all activities that have happened against this record. And at this point, you can add your phone calls, you can add your tasks, and the emails and appointments. This also allows you to view various things. You view them all, those in progress, those overridden, and such. Same with the notes. But it's not necessarily linked with any of those activities. All right, so in order to integrate LinkedIn, do I need the employee account information and password? Yes, you do. So with the LinkedIn account, it's going to ask you when you try to use LinkedIn what account it should use. So I recommend using, a corporate account or that linkage, so that it then allows you to see public information for the various accounts and contacts in the system. Can you see a summary of posts outside entities? Yeah, on the desktop, is where you see that summary of posts for, let's go back to the sales activity social desk. So this is the default one that was coming up. And so on here is where you would see, depending on what you're following or how you've got it configured. Right now we've got all records. We can do my active accounts, as you see here. And these are also configurable views as to what you see in this list. So it can be kind of overwhelming if you've got everything turned on and there's a lot of activity in the system. But this is where you can have general posts that everyone can see. Or if someone can, you can follow people in the system as well, which is usually done by getting a list of the users and just clicking on follow. So if that person does anything in the system, you can follow them and see that information on your dashboard. So this is the general place that you can see all posts. As you see here, we've got the contact I created earlier today, which was Jake, my contact, and information that was entered as part of the default data. Okay, how are users notified to new posts? Well, there isn't a notification system per se, so it would be them monitoring their dashboard, logging onto the system, seeing what sort of posts there are. Now, there are ways that it can be set that if something comes in and it goes to you, then we could set it up to send like say an email to say a new post has been created. like a workflow to do those sort of things. Okay, I think I got
that about it for our questions.
Yeah, I got caught up with the questions. Are there any more? Are there any additional? Would someone like to make it easier and speak? I can turn you off on mute if someone actually has a question they'd like to say verbally. So I've gone ahead and taken most of you off mute, so if anyone wants to speak. Because otherwise, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. If anyone has any questions on this afterwards that pops to mind, go ahead and send an email to Jake, and you can forward that on to me, or if you've got my email address is at dnash@fmtconsultants.com.
Reminder also, Dave, that this has been recorded, and Jake will be making that available from our website. Probably take him a day or two, but that will be available. We'll also follow up with you and talk to you about your experience, see if you have any other questions or may have some other areas of clarification that you might need. We'll be happy to answer those questions. Heck, we have a hand raised, or are we good?
We're good.
Oh, good. Well, that said, if you want to go to our final slide, we'll sign off. Thank you so much for giving us part of your time today, and look for future webinars in any of the disciplines that you might have seen us mention today. Thanks, Dave, for that look into the social aspects and how they can integrate and really help in a sales environment. For sure, you guys might think of other ways that social media might play in your CRM arena and give your business some benefits. So from FMT headquarters in Carlsbad, California, Tom Pork and Dave Nish signing off. Thanks.